Before we get on to the subject of tonight, some tragic news. Cristiano Ronaldo's little twin son has died, and that is awful news. From as a parent myself, I can't imagine how that experience is. Awful, terrible. So I'm going to send my condolences to Cristiano Ronaldo and his wife and his family. And I don't think you can ever recover from that. Being, as I say, a parent myself, I can't imagine the pain and the horror and how much that will hurt. So rest in peace to the little boy. That is awful. But anyway, let's get into this. So it's now 31st of May 1893. Woolwich Arsenal at last elected to join the National League Division 2. And Arsenal are the first team in the south to be elected, and that breaks up the conglomerate of the Midlands and Northern teams. So Arsenal have really now achieved a major success in the fact that they have entered that position. So Arsenal have now moved back from the Invicta ground in the previous season back to the Manor, and the directors of the club and the leading main man, you could call him the chairman, but I don't think he really was, and the other directors are taking on a personal debt of £4,000, which is a massive debt, because these are foundry workers. These aren't money men. They're not guys that have got tens of thousands of pounds. And they've basically put up everything they've got as collateral to the bank, mainly probably their houses. So it's an unbelievable debt for them to undertake. So Arsenal now are entering their first season, and everything with Arsenal, Woolwich Arsenal and Arsenal in history, doesn't go according to plan. So after an absolutely hectic pre-season schedule, Arsenal play their first ever league game against an established Newcastle United. And in their first league game at home, on the 2nd of September 1893, they draw 2-2, which is a very credible result for a team that have just basically joined Division 2. And they had an unbelievable capacity crowd at the ground of 10,000 people. So that's a major achievement. That is actually a bigger crowd than teams like Newcastle were getting at home at their ground. Now, obviously, Newcastle at this point in time weren't playing at St James's Park. I don't know where they were playing, but their home capacity was around about 7,000. So it's a major thing for Arsenal, Woolwich Arsenal. So Arsenal have got in these two new players, two strikers, and Walter Shaw and Arthur Elliott, and we'll hear more about them in the future. But one crazy fact about this game is that both teams play in their away kits, and the reason for this is that Newcastle and Arsenal both had red home kits, and so Arsenal just decided to play in their away kit, which is white. Newcastle away kit at the time was white and black stripes. So why did both teams decide to play with white in their colours? Surely Arsenal could have played in their red kit. But there you go. That's what happened back in the day. And I'm just going to try and pin this comment because this guy is an absolute legend. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, we've got a legend of Chelsea here, man. Tony. Yeah, good to see you, Tony. Absolute legend of Chelsea. Mate, what that guy doesn't know about Chelsea and Arsenal, to be honest, he probably knows more than me because he worked with Lee Gunner for years. But yeah, top man. Nice to see you, Tony. Proper Chelsea fan. So the FA Cup rounds start, and Woolwich Arsenal again have to go through qualifying, and they have to go through 6 weeks after the league debut, and they won their first tie against Ashford United. And Ashford United at this point were still an amateur team, and Arsenal beat them 12-0 at the Manor Field, which with a home crowd of basically only 3,000, which is quite surprising considering the crowds they were attracting in the league. So maybe it was the fact that Arsenal weren't really progressing in the FA Cup and they were in the league. I don't know. But anyway, we move on. So they beat them 12-0, and all five of the front forwards score goals, notably 2 hat-tricks, one from a guy called Andy Henderson and Joe Heath on his debut. So Arsenal, they're moving on. But another player in that game who went on to make his debut was a certain player called William McNabb. Later in Arsenal's history, in 70-71, his great-grandson, Bob McNabb, played for Arsenal in that great team of the 70-71 double team. Now, Arsenal, having beaten Ashford United 12-0, that is actually still the highest score of any team in the FA Cup per se. No other team to this day still has beaten a team 12-0 in one FA Cup leg of the game. So that's Arsenal's first record, and they go on to achieve more. So Arsenal are now back at the Manor Field. They've got a capacity ground of 10,000 people, and the entrance fee was half a penny. So you have to ask, really, how much money could they make? So again, still at this point, Arsenal the team is being picked by a committee. And the committee consisted of a certain Fred Beardsley, who we know from the start of the club, and an Arthur Brown and a Jack Humble. So the result against Ashford United sent Arsenal on their way in this particular season. They went through all of their 6 qualifying games, and the last game was when they beat Clapton 6-2 at home. And ironically, again, you can ask the question, why did Arsenal, again, in all their qualifying games, get to play at home? And there was questions being asked about this by other teams, because we saw this not the season before, but the season before that. Arsenal, who were at that time wanting to get into the Football League, but were getting refused. But it's almost like the FA were doing them a favour. Now, you can say many things about the FA back in the time. Were they corrupt? Were they doing favours? Were they giving Arsenal an inroad? We don't know. But unfortunately, the week before that, they were stuffed 5-0 at home by Liverpool in front of a crowd of 9,000. And that was on the 28th of October, 1893. And Liverpool went on to win the league and got promoted to Division 1. So Woolwich Arsenal now continued on their way of their first season, and they had reasonable success. They qualified after that into the first round proper of the FA Cup and were narrowly beaten by Sheffield Wednesday from Division 1 in front of a home crowd, unbelievably, considering their capacity was 10,000, of 15,000 fans. Now, Sheffield Wednesday back then were a massive, and they still are, let's get it right, massive history with Sheffield Wednesday. And the stories are that I've managed to find is that they actually had people sat on the edge of the pitch that the referee was complaining about, because at times people were actually on the pitch. Bit like the famous West Ham Cup final at Wembley, where people, still to this day, unknown capacity of what actually went on at that cup final. Now, Sheffield Wednesday had an amazing team lineup at that point in time, and they went, and Sheffield Wednesday went on to achieve great stuff in Division 1. Now, here we go again. Arsenal controversy. Fred Beardsley, the guy we keep hearing about, was so angry with the poor performance of the referee that he complained to the FA over the ref's decision. Can you believe this one? Can you believe this? To give a free kick to the Reds, Arsenal, Woolwich Arsenal, after a Sheffield Wednesday defender handled the ball on the goal line, but he only gave them, Woolwich Arsenal, a free kick. But the complaint once again fell on deaf ears by the FA. So this is the second controversy for Arsenal in the FA Cup, where Arsenal, do you remember the one at North Heath where the referee turned up 30 minutes late? I talked about it in a previous stream. So Arsenal, Arsenal's a club. They can't go out without causing some sort of grief, can they? So Woolwich Arsenal's first season was pretty good success, with them finishing in 9th position out of 15 teams, winning 12, drawing 4 and losing 12, scoring 52, conceding 55, and ended up with 24 points. So, you've got to say for their first season, they've done not bad at all. Now, basically, Woolwich Arsenal are trying to push on, but they're being held back, unfortunately, because they don't have the money. The massive injection of money they had by George Weaver has basically dried up. And the fact of what happened with the Invicta ground, when he wanted to double the rent, because he didn't own Arsenal. Arsenal were an amateur team at that point, and so he was charging a rent. But Arsenal developed that ground with that money. So when he tried to charge them double rent, they basically said, do one. And they walked away. Now, George Weaver now is a pretty peed off guy. He, basically, I've invested all this money. and wants to go. He wants to go to Arsenal to get his money back. But Fred Beardsley is a very strong character. The guy that the first big name that came to Arsenal from Preston is fighting him off by saying, well, no, it's your choice. You invested the money. Basically, there is no contract per se. So we again go into controversy. So Arsenal at the end of the season have, with all this nonsense going on, some pretty decent results. Middlesbrough, Ironopolis became Middlesbrough Town. Arsenal went up there and beaten 6-3 away, and also achieved a 6-0 home result against Northwich Victoria. So they did pretty decent. Let's get it right. I mean, they're fair play. But we'll just have a look at a couple of these comments here, because I've just caught a couple of people. Can't see him now. He's gone. Hi, Steffi. How are you? Chelsea SW6. They like to bung, mate. Old Henry knew. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Henry Norris, mate. Yeah, he knew. Yeah, classic. Del Boy, good to see you, my man. Nice one. And Warren's Team Talk. Go and subscribe to Warren's Team Talk, everyone. And Gracie May. Absolute quality channels. I've got Gracie on tomorrow night, and we're going to talk pretty load of rubbish, but there we go. And Warren, top geezer. I mean, that man's proper Arsenal. He's not one of these flip-flops. He speaks it from the hip. He talks it from the heart. So get out there, subscribe to Warren. And, he's given me, he gave me massive support setting up my channel. As did, without Gracie, bless her heart, this would never happen. Sophie Lopez, nice to see you. Joe Roots Barmy Army. Yeah, you like the haircut, man? Yeah, nice one. Yeah, got to be slick, Summer's coming. Got to get a bit of a suntan. Yes, mate. Soul Steps. I've got my glass of wine. Actually, quite funnily, somebody said to me, you drink on every other channel, but not on your own. And I'll tell you what, I actually forget. That's why. But never mind. So we move on. 1894-95 season. Now, after this, I'm not going to go for every other bloody season, because it gets boring. We need to move on to the times when Arsenal start to move up a little bit. Now, this season, they started with 3 straight losses. Bit like the start of this season, really. And Arsenal were in a bit of a dilemma. So we lost away at Lincoln City 5-2. Unbelievably, Lincoln City were an established team in Division 2 way before Arsenal were, because of this north-south divide. North, Midlands, South. The Football League was predominantly based in the North and the Midlands, because it was classed as a working man's sport, whereas it was looked upon in the South, it wasn't such a working man's area. I don't tend to agree with that, because Arsenal basically were founded at the Woolwich Foundry. And so therefore, not sure about that, but we'll come on to that one. To answer this question, Jadon Sancho, who is your favourite ever manager? If you ask me, an Arsenal favourite ever manager, in my current lifetime, it's got to be for achieving what he achieved, George Graham, with the team that he had and what he did at Anfield in 89 and 91, George Graham, in true history, I would say, is without a doubt Herbert Chapman. To win 3 league championships on the bounce. Arsenal have never achieved that since. And 2 FA Cups, what he did was an amazing accomplishment. If you have to look at long-term achievement, and let's forget the last 10 years of Wenger, maybe Wenger. That's my thing for Arsenal. But you could also bring into the mix there Bertie Mee, because he won Arsenal's first ever European trophy. But we move on. So Arsenal have lost 5-2 away at Lincoln City. They're now at home to Grimsby Town and lose 3-1. And away to Burton Swifts 3-0. Now, Burton Swifts are now becoming a bit of a pain in the arse to Arsenal, because certain things don't go well in the past and in the future. So Arsenal then go on and they beat Bury Town 4-2, and they beat Man City 4-2. Now, wouldn't it be great if we could beat Man City 4-2 nowadays? It'd be nice. But that season, the biggest win for Arsenal was against Burslem Port Vale. Later become just Port Vale. Beat them 7-0. Now this season, excuse me, I need to have a bit of red wine. This season, Arsenal, strangely again, didn't have to qualify for the FA Cup. Now it seemed that the FA seemed to make up their own minds about if you had to qualify and if you didn't. Now all the Division 1 teams didn't have to qualify or go for qualification, whereas some Division 2 teams and some didn't. But there was no sort of set rules as to if you did or you didn't. But unfortunately, it didn't go well. First round, they were knocked out by Bolton Wanderers, one of the founders of the Football League, 1-0. So Arsenal had an improving season. They finished 8th, and they won, winning 14 games, drawing 6, losing 10, scored 75 goals. They were the highest goal scorers in Division 2 that season. They conceded 58 and finished on 34 points. The only problem was, if they hadn't lost 10 games, if they'd lost 4, they would have got promotion, and we'll come on to that. So Woolwich Arsenal, again, are still picking their teams by committee, whereas every other team in Division 1, Division 2 have appointed managers. 1 point of direction. Now, yeah, great comment there, Josh. 8th, what a coincidence. Yeah, can see that happen again, man. Craig is saying, Jez, who's your all-time favourite Arsenal player? It's got to be, for me, without a doubt, Dennis Bergkamp. What that guy could achieve, man, was unbelievable. You know, I mean, I've seen some great players at Arsenal. Liam Brady in the mid-70s, late 70s, awesome. And when that guy came to his club, what he could do with a football was like nothing else we'd seen on the planet. But yeah, I've got to go Dennis Bergkamp. Can't see it any other way. And I've agreed with a couple of people there. So yeah, but we move on. So Woolwich Arsenal, being Arsenal, and it's never changed in the history of Arsenal Football Club. Let's get it right. Arsenal could never go for a season without controversy happening. So the winter of 1895, Woolwich Arsenal became the first Football League club to have the ground closed for crowd disturbances. Yeah. Now the league game was against Burton Albion, and it was played on the 26th of January 1895. Now it was a bit of a frosty game because there was a bit of an element that Albion and Woolwich Arsenal sat in 7th and Burton Albion sat in 8th. So Arsenal and Burton Albion are in a shout for possibly getting promotion. Arsenal were more because of the fact that they had a better goal difference and more points by, I think it was 5, something like that, 5 points. So the game started. The Burton players basically started in a very abrasive, strong arm tactic attitude throughout the whole match, which left many of the 7,000 crowd of the day feeling the referee, a certain John Brodie, was not in control of the game. The game erupted when a Burton Albion player fell to the floor in the Woolwich Arsenal box. So is this the very first case of a diving player? Is this the first point? And I'm pretty certain it would be, because it's Arsenal, and Arsenal like to achieve great things. So there you go. And it ended up with a dodgy penalty, which ended the game 1-1. Now, Arsenal are in a chance for promotion here. So this hasn't gone down well. So at the end of the game, the home fans invaded the pitch. Dear God. The referee was assaulted, shouldn't laugh, and knocked out with a cut under his eye. And he had to be helped off the pitch by the police and the Arsenal officials. A number of the Burton players started to get involved and were attacked by the home fans. And so the police got involved and it just became a complete nonsense. So the police cleared the grounds, but everything kicked off again with up to 2,000 home fans waiting for the Wanderers team, Burton Wanderers, outside the ground. So the police managed to smuggle the Burton Wanderers to Plumstead train station to get them out of the area. So now this has gone down seriously bad. It's all over the press. It's not looking good for Arsenal. Arsenal now seriously worried they're going to get a massive fine or whatever. And, you know, Arsenal aren't a rich club. They're not like the clubs up north that have been in the league for quite a while. They're also worried they're going to get kicked out of Division 2. So it's not going well. So the FA make a major investigation into what's gone down. And they decide to sanction Arsenal, that the ground will be closed for 6 weeks. And they decide that all the remaining games for Arsenal will be played away. So the game they played at home to Liverpool will now be played away because that's quite fair. But all the other games that Arsenal have played at home have to be played away. And this absolutely destroys Arsenal's chance of promotion. I'm just going to have a look at this comment here. Cheers, go and preach. What's that? Go and brush your teeth. Okay, mate. I will later on. Thank you, mate. Can you send me a toothbrush and some toothpaste? I ain't got none. Can't afford it down here. It's too expensive down here in the south, mate. So nice one. But anyway, getting back to it. So basically, Arsenal are stuffed. Their chance of promotion's gone. Their chance of getting promotion after their second season Div 1 has gone out the window. And we got Ryan Norman in the chat. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. And yeah, he's been kicked out. Well done by Gracie. Absolute numpty. So Arsenal are now moving on. But what we're going to do now with the next part of this, we're going to move on quite a way forward, because basically nothing a lot happens and it gets all a bit boring and a bit stale, and I want to mix it up a bit. Now tomorrow night I've got Gracie on, and that should be quite fun. I also want to get some of you guys on, and Gracie's now very kindly showed me how I can get people on, so I'm going to do that. And that I want to get your experiences of Arsenal. I want to get what you feel about the club, how your experience has been over the years. And I'm going to get on some other people. Lee's coming on at some point. Kenny's coming on. And I'm going to get on DVS Dallas from over in the States. Great guy. Love that man. Shoots it from the hip, as he would, being a Western cowboy. And I want to move it up. And if you've got any ideas, guys, any ideas of what I can do, what you want to hear on here, because I'd love to hear it, because sometimes it's just boring talking about just Arsenal. Maybe we could mix it up a bit. I want your content as well, because talking about other teams, maybe. That's Guy. So Gary, mate, I will be doing a quiz. Don't worry about that. Oh, mate, Tony wants to come on. Mate, I've got to get you on. Absolute legend. Yeah, mate. Chelsea SW6, you're coming on, son, that's for sure, because you go back a long way, mate. And that'd be great. Yeah, I'm going to do a quiz. I've been thinking about it. I like doing quizzes. So what I'm thinking I might do is get on maybe four people on here that haven't been on before, or maybe I'll get two on that, maybe two other people I know, and then two guests that I don't know, something like Warren and maybe Gracie or Del Boy or something like that, and then two other people out the chat, absolutely random, and we do a quiz. And then what we can also do, that's a great idea actually, maybe I'll get one of you guys to do a quiz. One of you guys I don't know. You write a quiz, and us numpties on here, we can answer it. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that one. I love that idea. So tomorrow, it's the lovely Gracie Mays coming on. Going to have a chat about all things Arsenal. And I've got to try and think up some things that I can ask her about, because she had an amazing stream today on Warren's Team Talk. So go and subscribe to Warren's Team Talk. Lovely man. Give him some love. Gracie May, give her some love. And you need to give Gracie love because she helped me massively. Del Boy Gunner TV, top geezer. Always does a great stream on a Friday. Del Boy, don't get Warren to do the quiz. They were so hard. I didn't think they were, mate. That hard, be fair. Don't forget I was leading in the first round on that. And then Kenny done me as he always does. Oh, Kenny, mate. I mean, Kenny Ken on football knowledge. I swear to God, anybody Googles anything about Arsenal, it goes to him. That man, what he don't know is ridiculous. Unbelievable. So, yeah, Kenny, he's awesome. But, yeah, give me some ideas, people. I want to know what you want to hear. Because I can sit here and talk about this forever, but, yeah, it gets to a point where it might get a bit boring. So, any more questions or I'm going to bounce? Gary Potter, stadium history as well. Yeah, I'm coming on to that one, mate. I am going to do the stadium history, the history of Highbury. I'm not doing the history of the Emirates because I can't stand the place personally. Josh Hunter, yeah, ranking the best kits maybe. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Gary, how did I meet Liz? How did I meet Lee? How did I first meet Lee? Well, actually, I saw Lee at games, but I actually got to actually really know him on his channel, to be fair. And that's how we got chatting, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. And then one day, 2.5 years ago, he invited me on and we went from there, mate, basically. Stephen Davis, greatest ever 11. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Chelsea SW6, what do you think of the book and the film Fever Pitch? Well, to be honest with you, Tone, it's a bit of a joke, man, really. Let's be honest. I like the film with Colin Firth, but I didn't. I never finished the book, to be fair. And yeah, it's a fair play to Static. Jez, what would you change of the Emirates? I'd fucking knock it down, mate. Be honest, yeah, I'd knock it down and go back to Highbury. That Emirates football stadium is soulless. It just winds me up. It winds me up. It's a rip-off. All Arsenal do is take your money and give you nothing back. So, yeah. Frankly, Media, the way the game has changed since the 70s. Yeah, that's a good one. I could do that one. Football back in the 70s, mate, was a proper football match. Will I be reviewing the Amazon documentary? I will be. I can't wait because that is going to be lit. Let me promise you. Because I've got a load. During the summer, I've got a load of ideas I want to do, but I want some of your suggestions as well. Because obviously during the summer it's boring. We've got no this. Let's get it right. We've got no Europa. We've got no World Cup. Now I don't like international football. I like watching the finals of it. Oh, mate, Oregaguna in the house. DVS, I'm getting you on, son. You are coming on. And so that's a list I've got. Chelsea SW6, absolute legend. Oregon Gooner. I'm going to have Gracie on tomorrow. I've got I can't wait for this. I can't wait for it because it's going to be proper. I'll still say I want to get some of you guys in. But getting back to my point, football in the 70s was proper football. And I remember watching a game. It was Man United against West Bromwich Albion. and it was a bloody awful. It's West Brom home ground, Hawthorns. It was a bloody awful, sticky, muddy pitch with a proper leather football, and Bobby Charlton and a great footballer called Jeff Astle went in for the most bone-crunching tackle you've ever seen in your life. And you could literally think they're going to break legs. But basically, the ball popped out. They both picked themselves up and got on with the game. Now, if that tackle had gone in today, both those players would have been thinking they've broken their legs, they've broken their back and broken their skulls. That was proper football. And Gary Parker, no, that guy will never ever come on my channel, mate. Can't stand him. Can't stand the fella. And he talks absolute drivel. I'm actually convinced he gets paid to talk rubbish to get views. Simple as that. North side will be coming on. Yeah, Craig, absolutely. I mean, Craig, if you want to come on, man, one day, more than welcome. So, yeah, but there we go, people. I'm going to bail out this one. It's gone a little bit longer than I thought. But before you go, give it a like, give it a sub. Go and sub to Warren. Go and sub to Del Boy. Go and sub to Gracie. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. More to come. We're going to move on. And I've enjoyed watching the comments to now. And it's been, I've worked out how to mod a few people. So that's nice. And you've been active tonight, which is always a good one. So next stream will probably be latter part of this week. We're playing Wednesday night down at Stamford Bridge. Tony's looking forward to it. Nice one, mate. And God help us down there. God help us. So I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care. And prayers to Cristiano Ronaldo, his wife and his family for the tragedy they've suffered today. And take care, people. And thanks for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. And see you all again soon. And come and have a watch tomorrow night when Grace is on. It'll be fun. Take care. Cheers.